bienvenidos de nuevo a mi canal. Welcome back to my channel. It is so good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already subscribed, then subscribe. What are you waiting for? And give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and I'll go straight into it. As you all know, it's summertime and we all love to travel during summer. So I'm here to give you my top travel tips for this season. Let's get right into it. So the first tip that I have for you is to plan your trip and plan it well. You want to plan where you're going to stay. You want to plan, of course, where you go, your flights, your connections, your everything. You do not want to be stuck in a place where you know nobody, you don't even speak the language, and you don't know what to do. You're just stuck there and you're lost, you know. So that's the first thing. Plan your trip and plan it well. Like, you know, Google, if you have to, like, Google places that you would like to go to while you're there, and Google simple facts. Like, for instance, like in America, what you see on the tag is not what you actually pay for, because the tax isn't included as in European countries. So those are like the little things that you should Google, you know, and you should like make yourself aware of, if I could say it that way. Also, if you're going to a country and you don't know the language, it would be very advisable to like at least get a couple of words that would help you, probably asking for directions, saying hello, asking for water, asking where the washroom is, you know, small things like that. So that would be it. First things first, plan your trip. Secondly, you need to plan early. The earlier you book your trip, the cheaper it's going to be. Obviously, some trips, some prices for hotels and flight tickets and all that stuff are always cheaper in certain seasons, cheaper than other seasons. But if you book them early enough, you can get them for an affordable price. So why waste time and wait until they're like over the top expensive and you can't afford it anymore? No way. You'd rather spend it on your trip, okay? So that's my second tip, book early. My third one is always, wherever you go, have cash on you. Don't always depend on your card. I feel like, especially in the UK, we use our card a lot. My mom always says they track you through your card, but that's not why I'm telling you to always have cash on you. You never know what might happen. You might be in a place where you can't use your card, or it's not accepted, or anything can happen and you just need to get a cab, for instance, but you don't have any cash on you. You might be really stuck. So always have cash on you. That's point number 3. Number 4, be very cautious with your belongings wherever you go, because there are long fingers everywhere, believe it or not. I remember a while ago when I had lost my phone. Well, I hadn't lost it because it was stolen. And I think the most surprising thing is when I got back onto my social medias, everyone was like, no, and I was like, my phone got stolen. Everyone was like, oh, so there are thieves in Spain too? Yes, of course there are thieves in Spain. I mean, what do you guys think? Like, of course there are thieves. Like, I ain't seen no borders saying no thieves allowed in this country. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to be very cautious. There are thieves literally everywhere. I mean, they're not gonna steal your tires in traffic, but they're definitely gonna pickpocket you. They're gonna take your stuff when you're not looking, and you're gonna be left very devastated, especially if you're in a different country and your stuff has been stolen. Like, say your passport's been stolen. What are you gonna do? You're gonna be stranded. You know what I mean? So watch your stuff. Now, with watching your stuff is a very important point that my grandparents always said, that you should never, and that's why I had to make it a point of its own, and that's going to be your 5th point number 5. Do not agree to hold anyone's luggage at the airport. Never ever do that. Do not watch it for them. Do not hold it for them. Like, if they need to go somewhere, they better be going there with their luggage, because we've had, or I saw so many cases where drug dealers were pinning bags on other people, and they had like connections, or like dirty, I don't want to say dirty cops, but like dirty airport staff, where they would like, they would literally set these people up. And it's so sad, because you're looking at these people like actual people, but they're looking at you like a goat, like a scapegoat, you know, to carry their dirty stuff. And if you get caught in a different country, the rules of that country apply to you, and you might not even get back to your home for a couple of years, depending on how long your sentence is. Like, you don't want to, like, just don't do it. I'm telling you, just don't do it. Number 6 is avoid crowded places if you can. Like, avoid them crowded places, them touristy places, because that's where most of the stuff happens. Like, if it's a tax or whatever, but don't be like, don't go around fearing, because literally you could get attacked anywhere. But do avoid crowded places when it comes to especially prices. You know that places where there's a lot of tourists, obviously they're tourist prices. You don't get local prices, you don't get normal prices. You will get overpriced if you try to or attempt to shop in places that are mainly meant for tourists. So if you want to avoid that, then avoid those areas. Then last but not least, when you're traveling, on the day of your travel, you know, when you're going through security and stuff, do avoid carrying or wearing jewelry, heavy jackets, because you're going to be told to take those off either way. Same to the jewelry. Do try avoid wearing boots, because you're going to be told to remove those as well at the airport, and it's just so much stress, like having to take off everything and then putting it back on, and there's people who are impatient after you in the line, and it's like you don't want to do that, and you might be rushing to get to your gate as well. Do you get what I mean? So you're saving time. Just wear something simple like trainers, you know, tee. But of course, if it's in the winter time, just wear a jacket and then take it off there. And obviously, I do not understand what's going through the head of some people. Like, I would never think of actually wearing heels on the day of my journey. Like, what? But some people do it, but it's just, you're standing in long lines. Do you get what I mean? You're walking around with your luggage, you're heavy laden. It's just so exhausting to be on heels. So if you can, do avoid that. And I think having said that, those would be my top tips for traveling, really. Oh, and of course, have fun. I mean, it's summer, be free, you know, go see places, experience new things, you know, learn a new language, you know, just have fun, enjoy the sun, you know what I'm saying? That's it for me for today, and I will see you in my next video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and hasta luego!